All right, so here we go. Big showdown between Flyquest and Evil Geniuses, the two best teams. I think EG thinks they're the best, especially Jojo Pion been limit testing some, a little bit of trolling in games. They've been making some mistakes. They haven't been as tight as they should, so they're getting some losses. I know it's early in the season and they just want to kind of like shake things out, but honestly, you got to practice being the best version of yourselves. This is a cool view of the map. If you want to be good in international competition, and with two teams going to MSI, maybe they're thinking that, yeah, it's free top two. Like, there's no way we don't get it. So check this out. Most teams go for a rush to bot lane. We've got Thresh getting a ward down there. Both teams getting a ward. And Aphelios, another one in the river. We've got 3 people moving in. So this looks like they normally try to do this to put pressure on this lane. It makes the jungler feel like they're pressured. And then they go and they play through bot side. Now in this game, you've got Varus Thresh that's got an early dominating lead against Aphelios Lulu, but the scaling's going to be on red team. On top of that, we got Cassante, Sejuani, and Talia. So premier scaling on Flyquest side. And the pick that, I've been saving it till last, but we've been talking about it. Cassante has 2 natural counters. One is Cho'Gath and the other one is Garen. As soon as you go all out, so I'm super excited to see this Garen pick. Cassante is this slow, steady kind of champion that just wants to fight in a small enclosed space. Garen loves that, right? Garen loves that style of fight, so it's definitely going in. Sejuani, Cassante, yeah, everybody, all these guys, big scalers. When we go into the team fights, how are they going to set it up, though? We're looking at Varus ult, we've got Azir, we've got Gragas ult. Gragas and Azir, we've seen them actually work at odds with each other plenty of times, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I hope the observer continues to watch this top lane. Bot lane is going to be entirely the onus on Varus and Thresh to get as much done as they can early in the game, especially after that red gun goes away. You're going to see some all-ins versus the flamethrower or the root gun from the Gravitum from Aphelios. Azir and Talia kind of going super long range artillery mages. Azir getting that recent buff to his end game, right? So his early game, his oppressive laning has been taken away. A huge hit to his mana means that he can't harass nearly as much, and you can see that Jojo PNRA feeling it down to 40%. So he won't be able to get as big of a lead as you normally get on that champion. Oh my gosh, he's going in. He doesn't know Sejuani's nearby. But there we go. That's something you have to do on Azir. You have to get these early trades off. Now check this out. Sejuani going with the invade because Talia's going to have the way out. Has more mana available than the Azir, but the strength is going to be on blue team. So what is Sejuani actually going to be able to get done? It looks like they actually have to pull back because they know Sejuani's nearby. So they end up coming back. They end up taking a lot of damage in bot side on the retreat. Now this is a super exciting bot lane, right? Prince, the #1 recruit coming out of South Korea, and Ayla, who won or was tied for MVP of the Academy League. So multiple times that Ayla has actually been shut out of playing on winning teams. There was multiple times that you deal with visa issues and whatever it is. So Ayla's had a tough time getting into the country, but now that they're here, we're going to see if Flyquest is any better. Were they good with Winsome? I feel bad for Winsome because twice he's been replaced while being on #1 teams. So, non-zero chance that guy's actually really good as well. But the plan was, hey, Winsome, you're going to come in, you're going to hold the spot, and you're going to learn under Ayla. Ayla's going to be our future. And of course, they're going with the tried and true approach with impact, right? You get a veteran on the team that gives that presence, and then all the young players. Spica has been an MVP before, and then you've got 3 players who have a good chance of becoming MVP. Vikla's been insanely good. Let's see what he can do about this Gragas gank, though. The ward that he had did not... All right. So this ward right here, you see it? It doesn't see this shadow of the wall. You have to stick it out just a little bit. Right, so it's the right idea. You never want to put it in the bush, but you need it to be out in the river in space so that it can cover these angles. This rock has a little bit of a protrusion that sticks out, and the vision won't see it. So this is a mistake that I'm sure they'll talk about. It's probably the last time that Vikla will make that mistake, but it's something that you have to be very careful of. So check it out. We've got a 10 CS, at least temporarily 10 CS lead from Garen over Cassante. He's faking the backs. That impact will take all of this health. And he's going to come back in with an enormous lead, right? He's got his natural Warmogs. So all this trading pattern that impact does. Also, one thing that Someday can do on Garen is you can spin as you're getting Q3'd, and then you end up actually dealing more damage to the Cassante than what you receive yourself. All right, so ends up getting his pressure, ends up getting the enough of a crash. It doesn't get all the way in, but he fights for the lane, so it's going to be pushing back out. So now he can back. He's got a comfortable lead. You see Cassante's going biscuits. He's going to be using that for some power plays as they start going for more all-in trades and to avoid the Garen ultimate. One of the things that you can do on Cassante is use that biscuit as you all out, right? So you all out and immediately activate the biscuit, and it's just a way of getting yourself some of those stats back, making sure that you're getting your Omnivamp back up to full health, or at least your full bar of health. So bot wave, let's see more poke. We've got full first backs. This is where the biggest lead is going to happen for Varus and Thresh. So you see Sejuani kind of hovering this gank. Spica is one of the best in the game. He learned from Xmithy about covering for ganks, right? Like where could the enemy jungler be? I'm going to hover for them. But his instincts, he kind of waits, ends up pulling back into his jungle, but Ayla's able to get that ward down. The just in case ward saves their life right there. Because as Sejuani was leaving, if Gragas could have pulled a play off, that would have been great. Here's Jojo Pion with the engage. They're going to get the kill. Garen with his famous roam timers. Garen with the resources play just constantly gets to push in waves and rotate, and this is something you should be looking to do. Love to see it from Someday, and Jojo Pion showing the aggressive start play from Azir. In solo queue, they steal it. That's funny. That's what they're talking about. Garen will try to steal that, but Azir, of course, is the one that you want to get hyper-fed. He's going to be super, super big. He's going for the early Lucid boots, which has been the fan favorite. Most people around are going to take Lucidity boots. It just wins more than others. Gives you more access to teleports, your flashes, and when you're looking on a playmaker like Azir in the early game, that could add up. So we're going to see how the scaling, the new scaling from Azir kind of works into the game plan, because the early game, very naturally, you can be the playmaker, right? You can be the guy that just dives in and shoves people away. In the late game, you can't do it because you'll be suicided. You have to move people away. But now that you actually have even more late game scaling, it's even more important that you look for those opportunities and maximize your time up in the fight. Let's see. They've got Aphelios versus Varus. This is a dangerous proposition for the Aphelios, but he does have cleanse. He's going to try to cleanse out the root from the Varus. Do they go for roam timers? It looks like we have 8 champions in the direction of Rift Herald. If you're Flyquest, you should not be going for this Rift Herald. You've got Garen, Azir, Gragas, Varus, and Thresh, all of them stronger in the early game. So definitely belongs to EG if they want it. And really, you should be kind of hovering mid and trying to do a seesaw. Whichever side one goes to, you're going to go to the other. So if they play left and they go to Rift Herald, then you immediately go Dragon. And that's how you get into the scaling mindset. So here we go. We got a couple motions into the North River. We'll see if Sejuani comes straight over to Dragon or not. It looks like not, because Gragas is actually going to feint at it and move himself over to match. So I actually love this play, right? If you're the team that is going to win early game fights, then you want to force the fights. You don't want to trade ever, right? So you don't go to Herald and say, hey, we'll give you Dragon. You fake your way to Herald, make them commit to Dragon, and then you go face off at Dragon, and then you take the Dragon from them. Oh, this is going to be a kill on Lulu. Big chain CC from the Thresh. That's so good. Catching Ayla. See, this is all due to, look at this Dark River right here. They blade the vision. Enemy team thinks that you are on Herald, and instead you're contesting Dragon because you're strong. So that is premium macro from Evil Geniuses. Hopefully it's on purpose. We assume it is. All right, so now let's see it. They've got ward lines across all of the river, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wards, all of them out. They're deciding that this is the most important part of the game, and in a way, they're right. They want to make sure that they are getting one of these objectives and winning a fight to get it, right? They don't want to trade. They want to match, and just be stronger and win the fights. Ooh, Jojo Pion. So close. If he gets hit there, he dies. Sejuani will be coming in. But now here we go. The committal. Sejuani's coming in while Gragas is topside. Did they actually sneak a window? Did Spica find a way in? And if they don't give up Rift Herald in response, then this is tremendously good for Flyquest. So here we go. They're coming in late. Can Thresh look at it? They see it's being taken. Gragas is not even going to contest. Not going to flip. You would win this fight. You'd think they'd want to get into the pit there, but they don't do it. So points to Flyquest. Spica finding a window to sneak that, kind of counting out the amount of time before Gragas will lose patience and go topside. Have to call that a mistake by Inspired, right? You're trying to find these match plays. Oh, beautiful job. Jojo Pion, better than anybody else in the league, uses his E to trade. Right, you collide, you get that shield, you get that extra damage in. It's actually a part of the kit. Like they have moved over some of the power into the E. You need to hit it as part of your trade windows, and if you're doing it, then you're going to win. The question is, do you find the windows where you can actually go forward and not lose anything in response? All right, here we go. Sunfire Rush and Stridebreaker Rush from the Garen. So Garen's trying to be especially sticky. There's still room for an Iceborne Gauntlet from the Cassante, but now that we're on a full item up there, it's going to be harder for the Cassante, for the Garen to kill him unless he goes all out. Flyquest and moving people over. Talia clears a wave down bot side, comes back over to middle. You've got Aphelios in the mid wave with the Varus, and they're saying that we can take this? All right. This is going to be on execution. Vulcan with the beautiful hooks. They're going to be able to kill the Sejuani if they go all out for this. Stridebreaker, Garen's going to be going in. Jojo Pion does not have his ultimate yet. And again, Fly is able to get out, killing the objective. They don't get the eye, though, but it's still a victory because EG is not going to take that. They will not be able to accelerate this game. All right, so EG, superior laning. Jojo Pion showing player tiff in mid, even though Vikla is insanely good. But that's their only advantage. Spica has been out jungling Inspired so far, finding those windows. Now we come back out on the map. Let's see if they spend any amount of time going back to normal laning or if they go straight back into bot lane rotated to mid, which looks like what they're doing. Lulu Aphelios. You can see these teams rotate between 12 and 14 minutes. They're going to get their bot lane into mid. Thresh may come over just to give a little handshake over here and just get some wards down to protect the Azir while he's splitting in this isolated lane. Garen can take care of himself. Azir needs a little bit of help. Don't want to get him caught by a Sejuani. Garen really has no problems. There shouldn't be a world where he dies. Even if two champions get a good angle on him, it's Garen. He's got so many ways out. He's got Stridebreaker and Phase Rush. So he should be safe on this side of the map. Now, Dragon's coming up in 2 minutes. It looks like Flyquest thinks that they can go for it. They're putting out wards here. You see Lulu dropping all those wards. The most shallow ones you can get right over the beach. Flash from Vulcan. God, this guy's a Thresh god. He single-handedly won the game against TSM the other day by hooking Boogie in between the wolves. I don't know if you caught that clip from over this wall. Boogie decided to try to take the wolves, and Thresh hit him by aiming it to the side. This guy's got all the angles. This guy came up and made rank 1 in Challenger, playing a lot of Thresh. So excited to see all these plays and the Flash Flay. Flash Flay, you got to move your mouse quick. You got to be able to do this. There's no input buffer that you can do, so it's one of the tougher plays. But he finds it, gets the follow-up CC, and Gragas to blow him up, and they get another kill. Talia, 0-3 right now. Now, one of the things that you normally see with Talia, you normally see it paired with something like Vi or Pantheon, someone that has a very easy-to-hit Stun, because Talia deals so much damage if she can get her combo out. Sejuani, pretty easy to get those hits on, but not quite on the same tier. Also, you have multiple magic damage sources, so you may see some amount of Merc Treads to prevent those combos. And specifically against this whole team, right? The whole team, Merc Treads is useful against. Scoop. Oh, he all out over the wall. Does it count? That is, whew, that is something else. And today, Jojo Pyun found out. But you know what? They should stay. They've got all the numbers there. They should have stayed. Varus is fine clearing this wave. Long range clear. He's fine in middle. They could have stayed up in top. They know Casante's going to leave. There's no way he sticks around there. And even with the all-out, like, you're threatening Garen to get a flash QR on him. All right, let's see. We're going to go Banshee's Veil, second from Jojo Pyun. So he's looking to not get that upfront stun. He doesn't want to get comboed, right? As long as one CC's not hitting you, then Talia's not killing you. Also, the magic resist is just absolutely insane this game. No idea yet what we're going to see from Garen. It looks like we're going to see Night Harvester from Gragas. And here we go. Wow. They still go. They get everybody in and out. They get the dragon. What is... This is the scaling team getting 2 dragons. Sure, they're down gold. But they're getting their fair share of the objectives. In fact, they've gotten all 3. They've got a lot of progress in the bot lane on the turret. It shouldn't be hard for them to knock that down if they ever decide to go for it. But they're going to be happy to just scale. Split the map. And it looks like they caught Vulcan. What an ultimate from Vikla. Beautiful. Using that wall to stop him from moving. No ability to get over. The Hex Flash, of course, turned off. So now Jojo Pyun's going to have to play a little bit afraid. I don't know. This is going to be tough from EG. If they pull it off, what is it going to look like? It's got to be a pick, right? This team's got the pick comp. It's going to be some amount of catching or isolating Aphelios. It's a very low damage team that Flyquest have. They have 2 carries. If Talia is forced to move back and not able to hit combos, then she's not going to be able to deal that much damage. And they do have the ability to isolate Aphelios. So if EG is going to win, they're really going to be looking to just get everything in, scoop the Aphelios or a Verisol, Gragasol, whatever it is, to isolate them and burst them down. And then it kind of just steamroll forward because it's a very low damage comp over there. Cassante, you've got multiple tanks and an enchanter. You know, the front line will be tough to get through. If they position well, Flyquest scaling should be insanely strong here. But that's how they're going to battle off. You're going to see strong battle lines drawn, and whether or not this Gragas is able to split them up, if they're able to find that pick, that's what this game's going to come down to. Because right now you've got, you know, the 4 kills, you've got a little bit of a gold lead. You have the inside track on the Herald, but you're missing 2 dragons against the scaling team here. Okay, they're in, they're out. Vulcan brings over FBI. There was actually a window. If Spica knew a little bit more about what was coming there, he could have actually intercepted that and dove right on it. Q flash, block the Varus as he's traveling, get his ultimate on. Talia combo. Cassante's coming in behind them. So there was a window right there. It would have been super tight. They decide, you know, we don't need to take those plays because we're the team with Lulu Aphelios, right? Varus doubling down on the early game, going with multiple sources of lethality. You should always go Yumu's first, get that extra mobility because it fixes one of his big problems. We're going to see probably Eclipse now that it has the extra armor, percent armor pen on it, and then the Manamune. And you're just going to be seeing these huge chunk arrows capable of stealing Baron. And really set up in this game where there's no where there's no healer, you're trying to get some sort of chunk damage out, which is tough with the two frontliners, especially when Sejuani is very likely to get Warmogs. Sometimes you see Warmogs third or fourth from Cassante, although not nearly as often. So here we go. Dragon in a minute. Baron is up. Let's see if we look for any kind of pressure. Doesn't look like it. They're splitting off. They're saying 1-3-1. Gragas back into his jungle. Two champions mid. You're going to see Lantern depth from Thresh, right? He's always going to be just Lantern depth behind the Varus so that the Varus can go poke. This solves a lot of Varus's mobility issues and allows them to play this 1-3-1 comp. Garen has a roam timer, though, because bot lane is pushing out, so they may find a play right here, 5v4. Let's see if they go for it. Maybe even 5v3. The chances here, if they go, Jojo Pion, does he know that he can go for it? He doesn't know. All right, they're not sure where the Talia is. They decide not to go for the play. Instead, they fight for mid-prio. Jojo Pion has the longest range here. He's going to be able to poke them out, and they're going to try to get an HP lead as they set up for the dragon. 2 completed items because Banshee's Veil is so inexpensive. So a quick spike from Jojo Pion. And we're going to see Zeal. Whoa. What are we getting here? Stridebreaker, Zeal. Are we going to see a Black Cleaver after the Zeal? You might go Mortal Reminder. Talia dives in. That is a line between the team, but Inspired is able to blow them away. Are they able to kill Impact? No, he flashes over the wall. He's still burning, though. God, the Vulcan is so strong. And here we go, Inspired with the E-Flash over the wall. Prince gets over the backside, but Varus follows him. What a chaotic fight in the river. That is not the kind of fight that Flyquest is looking for. EG are able to play super well in these corridors, and you're going to see someday go to town on the Sejuani, but they end up pulling back. Will they go straight onto the dragon? Probably. They've got the prerogative to do it, but you see a teleport coming right back in from Cassante, so that means it's the go out button for the Gragas. They can't stay here 2v3. And these wards have perfect corral vision right now. But the two of them, look at these guys. Gragas and Garen can kind of stand this down forever. Who's going to kill a Garen? Right? Like in this game, as they go along, Black Cleaver Garen is just going to be shredding through these tanks. It's such a phenomenal pick into double tank featuring Cassante, right? Directly countering the Cassante and the ability to get all that extra shred with Black Cleaver. I assume that we're going to see Mortal Reminder, Stridebreaker, Black Cleaver from him, but we'll see what the items end up building out for. And so, yeah, we're going to see, like, the early game spike. Gragas totally fine on one item. Sometimes you see a stopwatch and Zhonya's next that he can be Bomba just to jump in with his E-Flash. They're able to get the thing out. Ooh, just barely. Herald charges. They get the turret. That's a big deal for this team, right? Because it's going to open up the map. They're going to play left and right side now. While that turret was up, while it was standing, it was preventing EG from really flexing any amount into the side rivers. And there you go. Look at that damage from the Gragas. And the scoop from Azir. Gragas just peels off. He uses the R on the backside. Belly bops the support cast. And they're going to get cleaned up. God, Jojo Pion is flying. He's like Superman just flying around on this champion. All right, so they can go straight for Baron. Look for Garen to play to the outside, right? You're going to see Gragas tanking, using the passive on the W to get some of the sustain back. You see Thresh. Is he just going to hook? Yeah, it looks like he's just going to hook. He's not even throwing the lantern here. And end game, your Q just becomes your auto attack. And let's see, perfect zoning, perfect position. He does go. He says lantern now. We're going to go for it. But no, we're back in. We get the kill. All in and all out from the Garen, and he's able to clean up on the Sejuani as well. Beautifully played by EG, just absolutely perfect. Vulcan on the outside, using Garen and Vulcan together on the outside of the pit, with Azir able to throw soldiers out and throw them back in. Just beautifully played. They're able to secure the Baron. Now 4 of them have it. Jojo Pion does not have it, but he will be sitting around with the team. We might see a little bit of split. We do have, it looks like, a minute left on Jojo Pion's teleport. So check this out again. Look at the positioning. They fight to keep these wards. Vulcan is keeping Someday alive. He's just a little bit of extra peel, a little bit of extra, special. Talia puts out the rocks to stop Azir from dashing out, but now that they're on cooldown, Jojo Pyun does have an angle out, and between the Lantern and Azir's ability, they could all get out. Instead, they end up staying here. Now, how did Jojo die? He's in the back of the pit. He's taking the extra Baron damage. That's how. Okay. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Inspired not realizing that Azir was taking all that damage. He laughs it off. Ooh, the scoop. They charge in. He's able to scoop, and they get the return kill, which is what you want. If you're getting caught out like that. Now, something Jojo Pyun's been dealing with. He's been getting caught a lot in these mid games, in these fights, and that's what's caused EG to lose. Like, they've had 5,000 gold leads in multiple games, kind of like Team Liquid. But Jojo Pyun with some mid game, like hyphy plays, or just being in the wrong spot, has gotten his team into trouble, and all 4 of their losses have really turned like that. In this case, he may have been doing a calculated risk, like, hey, Garen's getting a lot of pressure up, we're able to take some trades, you come on me, I'm going to throw you back with the ultimate. But you'd like to see Azir not trade his life at this stage of the game, especially one that's building with Banshee's Veil. We'll see if he plays even safer going forward with Void Staff. Now, Varus finishing the Manamune, so he's on 3 items. That Manamune is about to finish, so 3 items Varus. This is as strong as he's ever going to get relative strength to the game, whereas Aphelios is going for the super expensive build, right? 3 3,400 gold items. It's going to cost him significantly longer. Yeah, there we go. There's the play. Jojo taking that moment to try to deal some damage back, but it's not enough. Gets himself into trouble, especially with the Banshees being down. But there we go. There's the rest of the continuation versus Gragas. It is a squishy build. You do have a lot of natural mitigation. Gragas with a big bomba. Trying to split them up. God, this Thresh Q on cooldown. If you hit your Qs endgame like this, it's on a 3-second cooldown. It's Q. Like, almost by the time it's done dragging, you're getting more. Alright, so here we go. The Baron play being wrapped up. They finish all of it with 2 turrets. They get those huge gold bounties, right? Those middle turrets, inner turrets are worth so much gold. They're going to flex for those, but Dragon is going to be the price they pay because they're rotating back. But it looks like Flyquest doesn't realize it. They think that maybe EG is actually holding a position of strength, and they don't go for it. So actually, Evil Genius is able to get away with a recall timer, uncontested. Here we go, Medio saying what a disastrous last 5 minutes. It's true, right? Like, and especially right there, not getting the dragon, because that dragon at that moment was basically free, and if you get it, then you've put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, right? You're going to have them forked a lot of times. There's going to be some Baron standoffs, and as the scaling team, you want to force the other team to have like double defenses, so you can say, all right, you go take one, I'll take the other, we'll trade off, we're going to be really strong in those positions. But instead, Evil Geniuses is able to get the full recall, and they come back in spending all their money. All right, this is going to be a problem now for Flyquest. Being down this much gold, right? We've got a 7,000 gold difference, and they have no ability to get any vision on the far side of the map. This is a problem. This Garen pick is carrying. We knew it would. The problem was whether or not Flyquest would get enough done, and we thought with those early dragons that they'd be able to not necessarily snowball, but at least like build up that wall, you know, some things that they can get done. Oh my god, Dead Man's Plate, Garen chasing the Lulu. That's it from her. Pop, she's dead. Man, you get enough speed items on Garen, and then he's good enough, right? Stride Breaker, Dead Man's Plate. He's got the Black Cleaver, so he's got the extra passive there if he ever hits, plus the Zeal. And they're just hunting for Ayla's Lulu. Something must be broken down on comms, right? Like, what's going on? What are they actually trying to accomplish there? They're splitting up. You know, Lulu's up while Sejuani's on the right side of the map. It just doesn't... A lot of this just feels really disjointed. They were able to sneak some plays earlier, but since then, nothing has gone right for them. We're at the part of the game. Yep, where Someday is just going to completely trounce on impact. And this is going to be a dead Cassante. And he can't even all out his way out of this, because once you all out, you're just going to get executed. Wah. Garen, everybody. You want to see a counter? Cho'Gath does it as well. But Garen is the best. Only Garen in the history of the LCS. Wow. Really? Is that true? Only Garen top. It must have been played bottom, right? 2019 when Yumi came out. It was all the rage in Europe, and I could have sworn we saw some of it in LCS, but maybe not. All right, so with Impact dead, they've got no real front line. Sejuani is not tanky enough with the Radiant Virtue in this. Taliyah looking to put that wall in, throwing a little bit of Discord in, saying, hey, here's some pressure. What are you guys going to do about it? And EG playing for the fight. I love it, right? They're staying up outside. They're not going to flip anything. But Spica gets in anyways. What happened? Did FBI go for an execute Q at the same time? It looked like that. I mean, it was at like 1,800 health, right? They're going to show the replay. I'd like to see what it get down to. Spica, man. But what? Maybe the best smiter in the history of the league. With room to grow. I mean, Closer's pretty good into. Smithy was also exceptional. There's been some good ones. But here we go. I love this play by Vikla, right? You put some wall between them. It makes it so that the team cannot jump over even if they want to. Then there's a little bit of miscommunication on whether or not we should be going all in. The Aphelios ult being down. So here it is. It's at 1925. What happened? They're going to do POV, the player cam from Spica. No, they're going to pull it out. So he ends up stealing the Baron. So here we go. This is going to be the great equalizer, right? Not only the gold swing, they're only down by 6,000 after stealing the Baron itself, but they also get the experience boost. You see multiple level 16s. Aphelios, Vikla, the Taliyah, and Cassante are all 16. Big spikes here. The only one that's falling behind is Lulu. Now, Jojo Pion expertly getting 2/3 of that turret dead, right? You want to get it past 1/3 of its HP so it can't regen that. Now you have a constant threat. And here we go. Vulcan finds the threat. Flash E into Q. Are they going to be able to continue this play? Jojo Pion's going in. He's going to get a scoop if he wants it. Okay. Lulu using the Q to block it, which means that the polymorph is available. Jojo not able to get the R and flashes defensively multiple times. Flyquest has been owning this late game. This is probably EG's only chance. Apart from the fact... Ooh, I don't know about Taliyah using the teleport here. I don't like that at all. Apart from out macroing, right? Finding a way to cause them to trip up, get some split pushes, using all the damage that they have on these structures already. Apart from that, there's really no good window for EG to win these fights. But, can you find Garen versus Cassante again in the side wave? You're going to get a serious 1-3-1 push, right? You're going to put their limits to the test. Now, we haven't seen games end in side lanes in a long time, right? Those split pushing comps just never have it. Garen, however, is able to push this in, but the Baron empowered recall with 8 seconds left means they'll get back in time. He won't even try for the inhibitor. Instead, he says, okay, that's enough. That's the end of your Baron play. You guys got all 3 inner turrets. They've got a huge influx of gold, down only 4K now. And importantly, you see, working on Void Staff for Taliyah, it's going to be your 4th item. You've got 2.5 working on 3 items for Sejuani, 3 items working on a 4th for Cassante. So they're getting to that point. When we get to 4 items, they're going to be very, very hard to kill. Even by a Garen with Black Cleaver. Now, what is this? Rapid Fire Cannon? It's not Mortal Reminder. It's Rapid Fire Cannon. Whoa. Okay, so he's looking for that extra range on the Q silence. Because if you can hit that, then you're going to be able to get everything else. That is an adaptation. We haven't seen that before. I don't know I don't know if we should have, but man, rapid fire cannon on Garen. Okay, so he's going for that long range, trying to get in, harass the fight. It's one of the tools that Garen can use because it's so hard to play that champion where you just need to run at people. Here we go, Fnatic Deathbush, but it's on their own side of the map. Kind of tricky to make that one work, especially on a cloud map like this. Can we see the pick? Can we see the play? They're going to try to find this, but look at this. Flyquest taking their time, working their way into a quadrant, but this is exactly the sort of behavior that split pushing is good against, right? If they're going to spend 4 people in the jungle while one pushes on an adjacent lane, then you can go ahead and push the opposite side with your teleport up and you're absolutely okay. So in this case, every time that they do it, they're actually threatening to take an inhibitor. Now, Azir actually, a misplay right here, Jojo Pion hard shoves the wave. You should only kill the 3 casters. If you kill the 3 casters, then your wave will reinforce. You'll get a slow push that can actually threaten to kill that entire top wave. Instead, you're actually creating a push for red team by doing that, right? Your wave is just going to crash with theirs on their side of the map, and you're going to see this right now where theirs is going to reinforce first, right? Take a look right here. Boom, you're going to get reinforced. Now, Talia's going to come out anyways to swing it back out. We'll see if she tries to go for a slow push or if she just fast shoves it. A lot of times they opt to just fast shove to pick up the gold and then rotate back. And especially Talia right now looking at that Void Staff, that's probably looking like a good idea for her. But if left alone, this right here, this is a game ender. No joke. If no one goes top lane, right, and they just end up standing off, this wave can end the game. It's going to reinforce and go top. So if nothing happens, EG is winning. We'll see if they look for 5-man mid. I don't know. I don't know about this, especially expending an Azir teleport or Azir passive tower. So what are they doing by standing off in this space? What you're basically saying is we just need Varus to get massive poke off, and he's aiming it at the support whenever he can. Right, Aphelios is going to be able to heal it up. If he can hit Talia or Lulu, oh, look at that. 2/3 of her health already gone. 2 Qs, or that might have even just been the one empowered one afterwards. And with Lulu chunked out, they're going to go for the Baron. There's no wave in position, but again, that top wave is going to become a problem. No, it's not a flip. Varus was able to ult them over the side of the wall. All right, Dragons in 37 seconds. Inspired going for Gromp. I can't get behind a Gromp take right now. What are you taking Gromp for? We'll see if he ends up with like a completed Zonia's or something. But that amount of time you go to Gromp, that means you're going to be late to Dragon. So if he's sitting on 2100 and he can buy a full Zonia's, then go for it. But the team's going to have very precise communications here. Talia a little bit late on the wall, and Sejuani gets rooted by the Varus and is not able to get over. So using the tools at their disposal to keep the jungler out. You see Garen actually fast pushing to bot side. Now this is a good way to contest the dragon, right? Garen's got a good flank position. We'll see if he tries to go all the way around behind them or if he just goes front to back. That's interesting. All right, so Varus hit his R. And Spico was able to, use the Arctic Assault, the Q, to dash forward. God, this is a problem. This top lane is going to be a huge problem for them if nothing else happens. Jojo Pion gets the Zonias, and they overextend, which means they're going to get blown up here. Bob, Garen gets into the whole thing. Jojo Pion with a huge knockup, and that's going to be the game. They see weakness. It is the Zonias that keeps them alive long enough for the team to reinforce. Garen and Azir able to do all of their AoE damage, and they blow up the fight. So they're going to be hunting here. Mostly it's just for stopping backs. Garen's going to be strong enough to end this game anyways. They're pushing up mid, although they could have ended a little bit easier in top lane. Azir, Kragus together. God, this guy's so tough to kill, but they get it done. And they push up, and this is going to be the game, right? Man, look at that. One mistake. And it was You know what? The Gragas backed. He didn't buy anything. It was just probably an elixir, but it was his stopwatch that won him the game right there. Oh my god, Vulcan, you're such a god. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep it surreal.